Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cheney 180 and
The Fallen Fed. Hey guys, what's up?
I'm playing with myself.
And you're listening to another episode of They're Not Dolls.
We're on episode 215. It's another Thursday night, the regular podcast episode.
Indeed.
With a very special guest.
Very, very special guest. I'm glad that you brought that up. We are joined by the one and only Jason from Spero Toys. Welcome to the show, sir.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
How you doing tonight?
Master of the shadows.
Yeah, I like that.
You like the darkness.
Huh, Cheney's all finally
It's
somebody
moody.
gets it.
Yeah.
It's like that's usually Cheney's thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Be
usually
like
I'm
the dark, moody one.
I like to sit around in the dark, you know.
Definitely,
Let's see
usually
how far I
like
can go
that.
into this without my Cajun accent coming in. So we'll see. Can't promise anything. I'm figuring maybe 5 minutes, and then it'll kind of start creeping in. We'll see.
It's all right. We don't judge here. Ernie has one, right?
I have multiples all the time. It depends on how my mood is.
Very true. Very, very true.
All right, we're all shared up, ready to go.
Okay, cool. Well, we've got a very awesome show tonight. Hopefully you guys came over from Toying Around show. I caught some of that, and it looks really, really cool.
So proud of him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a listen back for sure.
Dude, Paul is one of us. Great show. I recommend everybody to go check it out.
I listened to a couple minutes at the ending. Definitely going to rewatch the whole thing. It was great.
Yeah. Good guy. Good guy.
All right, so we're here to talk about Spero Toys tonight and their new Kickstarter. But before we get there, Ernie.
Yes, sir.
How are our Chatmigos doing?
What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Cool. Yeah, I had some time to hang out with you guys over there with Kev and Toying Around and Paul. That was awesome. I appreciate you guys jumping over here. And go ahead, Chatmigos. Let them know the Toy Migos are on. Go share it. We got Jason here from Spero Toys. We're going to get into all of that and the new stuff, which is very awesome. So that should have gave you guys enough time to go share it. Let them know. Bring them on over. We're live. It's our regular 2-hour podcast episode. So let's get into it, guys. We gave you enough time and let's check in. How do we check in? We hit that thumbs up like I just did. If you're new to the show, welcome. We're the Toy Migos. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all. Right there where it says say something, say hello, what's up, whatever it may be. You are now a Chatmigo. You are part of the show. You guys got your own conversation going on over there. We try to interact with you guys, or you guys love to correct us on something that we get wrong. But we appreciate that, a lot. If there's something you got to say or a question that you want to ask, see that money symbol right there? That's a super chat. We will stop the show and hit up your super chat. So let's get into it and see who's all here right now. We got Action Figure Expert, the Wrestling Hound. Woo! We got Knucklehead, Soul Brother, Oxmeat Pete, Santo 1414. We got Deep V Adams in here, Thunder Crow, Nick's Figs, the greatest referee in WWE today, Rod Zapata. Smash Lab Creations, I love you, Smash Labs, and Smash Labs loves me. Dudley Do Right, let's see. Enemy Frankie, what's up? Dark Bulb, Dorian G, Soul 3000. Your moderator tonight, Berserk 69, Ronald Ramos. Ish 618, Dorian's here, Knucklehead, Enemy Frankie. Tyrone, what's up? Let's see. Power Punch Toys. Who else is here? Dorian, Adam, Power Punch Toys. Soul. Jurassic Jesse's in the house. Oxmeat Pete, Fignata, Winger Lose, Oreo Omega. And let's see. Ryan Carper's here. Silesius Crumb. Soul Brother Renee Garcia. Fighting Code Names. Dorian G. Alcap 1. Omar. What's up, Omar? Man Beast Boy. Ryan Carper. Brandon Baker. Man Beast Boy. Knucklehead. Alcap. Thundercrow. Soul Brother. Let's see. Eddie Winslow. Eddie Winslow? Are you serious, Eddie Winslow? Right. Thank you, Jason. See? Oh, man, that's great. Sarah Smith, how's it going? Let's see. Cheney, thanks for the... Cheney, you're getting some love from Sarah. Be sure and check that out.
Dodo.
Let's see. So he's just Crown Tyrone. Papa Schmitty, how's it going? Our other moderator tonight, Adam number 2. Adam the Urban Spidey's here.
Adam number 2, Spidey number 2.
Tyler's here. Dark Joker is in the house. Adam Vinson. What's up, Adam? Astonishing News and Reviews. 206 Toys. Punker Mike. We love you, Punker Mike. And Doomsday.
What's up?
So, guys, that's everybody already. Let's do this.
All right. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and kick it off for the people who may not know. Jason, who are you and what do you do?
So I am just a normal guy, and I did a couple of Kickstarters in order to make some action figures. So if you haven't heard about Animal Wars of the Kingdom, it's basically a toy line based off of an indie comic book that I did. And we first started off doing the 3 3/4 inch, mostly because it's what I grew up with, and I really loved that scale. And at the time, it was the most affordable thing to do because the tooling costs a lot. Like tooling molds are really expensive and all the materials really expensive. And I wanted to make sure that there was a market for it and that people actually liked the IP before kind of venturing off into the 6-inch scale. So went ahead and started on the 3-inch scale, and that's been out for a little while. We actually have deluxe figures that are going to be coming into our warehouse at the end of the month or maybe the first couple days of March. So we're super excited about that.
That's very cool. I remember those. And for those of you who don't know, Jason was on with us at the beginning before this. So make sure you guys go back and listen to that show, how this all came about and evolved into us here now. So Jason, just what a great job that you're back in here and to promote the new one. So what are the first deluxe ones that are finally going to come out? Which ones off of those that we saw?
So the deluxe line is going to have 8 figures. It's going to have there's going to be 3 gorillas, a orangutan, a lion, a tiger, a sheepdog, and I think I got everything. Oh, and a bear, black bear. So,
everybody wants a bear.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a bear.
Yeah, and they're all modular. You can kind of pull them apart and mix and match if you want. So the bear actually comes with a bionic arm. But if you don't want it to be like a robot cyborg, you can always it comes with an extra organic arm, so you can just have a full bear if you'd like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Full bear warrior, yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, first off, I want to thank you for coming back and joining us, man. I appreciate you taking the time out to hop on with us and talk toys for sure.
My pleasure.
So we've kind of gone over the first Kickstarter and where you're at now with the line. Can you kind of break down a little bit of what the inspiration of the original concept of the line was a little bit more?
Yeah. So I was a graphic designer at the time. And at the end of each week, I'd have a whole bunch of sticky notes and stuff from working on logos and kind of working on mascots and stuff. And one week in particular, I had a bunch of anthropomorphic animals from mascots and stuff. And I was like, man, I love Ninja Turtles and Thundercats and stuff. It might be kind of cool to, maybe try to make my own comic book. And it was just one of those things I never really anticipated actually finishing one issue. And, the next thing I knew, I finished that issue and I was like, well, let me go ahead and just try to do a Kickstarter and see if people might want some more of them. So I did a Kickstarter for basically a trade paperback, and that got funded. I wound up, releasing the trade paperback and actually doing 2 static, little statue versions of the main character Pale and the main villain Kali. And that's basically how the origins of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom started.
Awesome. So we've continued on to the 3 3/4 inch line, which we covered before, and what sparked the idea to move into the 6-inch?
It's funny when Star Wars Black Series came out, I was like, I am not starting over again. I was right there with you. I went 4 years without. I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting Marvel Legends. I'm not getting any of that.
I went about 4 visits, and then that was it. That was all. So you did way better than I did.
I don't know. I was just like, I mean, the kind of person I am, like McDonald's aggravated me once and I didn't eat there for like 3 years.
Dang.
But, so like,
I see orange.
I see
now,
orange.
don't get me wrong. I was like very intrigued. Like I really wanted to get them, but I was just like stubborn. And then, Big Boy Toy Store had like this crazy sale on Black Series. And I was like, oh, let me get 3 of them.
Uh-oh.
And I want to say
just
like
had...
by the end of the month, I had like 25 Black Series.
Yeah, you just had that little taste, and then you were hooked, man.
That's what it was. I knew if I like got a little bit of it, I'd go crazy.
Yeah.
And then I started getting Marvel Legends, and then after that, I was like, okay, this is silly. Like you like both scales. It's okay to like both scales.
It is.
And
it's absolutely fine.
Floating around in my head, like in my subconscious, I was like, you need to do 6-inch figures. You should do 6-inch figures. And excuse me. And it had really just kind of been like, on the radar, but it wasn't something that I was like really focusing in on. And I was actually like, we were preparing to do our first toy fair in Dallas. Like there's a New York one that everyone knows about, but there's also a Dallas one that's getting really big too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were all set to do the Toy Fair Dallas, and they called and said, "Hey, listen, we're gonna have to cancel it because of COVID. You get a rain check. You'll have your booth in 2021." And like I remember being in the parking lot of like the supermarket and getting in that phone call. And basically, as soon as I got off the phone, I was like, I'm doing the 6-inch line. I'm doing the 6-inch figures. And I got together with an awesome 2D artist, and we kind of like brainstormed, and we like re-envisioned all of the existing characters and like kind of like embellished where we needed to, and made sure everything felt like true to the originals, but we're like, took it to the next level on all the detail that you can infuse into 6-inch scale. And I mean, I'm friends with a bunch of sculptors in the industry. So we've got like Hasbro sculptors, McFarlane Toys sculptors that all work on this 6-inch line. And we're all super proud of it and super excited to kind of show it off. And it's been like so hard for me not to like just show them all at once, but I feel like kind of revealing them. Yeah, it's like, I want to show it all at once. But I feel like kind of releasing one character per week is really helping us kind of like build up momentum and keep people like interested in checking back.
Absolutely.
It definitely does. It's like Disney Plus. I mean, you had Netflix, and in one night you had everybody talking about it, and 2 days later, it's just faded out.
It's out. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
This one per week
cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. I say stick with it because it gets everybody more intrigued.
Well,
right. And it's fun. I mean, it's fun for me to anticipate. Like I've got the schedule of the figures the characters that I'm going to reveal, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see what they think of that one. And like, I like throughout the campaign, we're going to continue that. Like we have like stretch goals and whatnot. And, so we'll just kind of keep rolling on with those releases. I mean, those reveals throughout the campaign. And I started working on I had the idea while I was putting together the Kickstarter of offering a making of this 6-inch toy line. And I was like, man, I hope I have enough content to make a book, and like 50 pages into it, I was like, holy crap, like this can be a big book, but I mean, my buddy David and I are working on it, and we're like, man, this looks so cool. Like we've got like, we start from everything from like the 2D all the way to the 3D. And, once we get to the factory and all that, we'll have like images from the factory, prototypes, all the way to the final image. What's nice is because it takes like 40 days from China to get to the mainland, I'll have images and stuff and production samples that I can actually have out of the box and take photos and everything and have it in the book and have that done and delivered before the actual toys get to us. So like that reward will be able to go out with the rest of the Kickstarter rewards. So
that's cool.
That's way awesome, man.
Yeah, that's right up Adam's alley. I
love that.
Right? Yeah, I know. That's great. I mean, we have found doing this and having guests on, so many people do love the what's behind the scenes and what it takes, or to even learn about it. So that was a great idea, and that's a very cool concept. I think it's even more so to get you even more excited. You're going to get it, beforehand. I wish we had some of those books. Like,
you know why I love books? I'm going to go off on a little tangent here, but the reason why, and like Jason, I'm envious, I love this idea, is that a book is just infinitely more accessible to like our friends and our family and stuff. People that don't do this the way we do, that don't do toys. It's like you can give them a book, the making of, showing them all of this work that you guys have done, and it's like in a book it suddenly makes it into like no, this is a real official thing, and it opens it up to so many other people.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, honestly, like for my birthday and for Christmas, I asked for like, movie making of art books. Like I got the Mandalorian art book for Christmas. It was like, give me art books and give me Bumba socks, like, and I'll be happy, It's ridiculous. But like, if you've never tried those socks, you should try that. That's a free plug.
I have not.
I've seen advertisements for it, and I'm sure that now after you've said it, my phone is heard, and I'll see even more.
Oh, this is true.
For Christmas last year, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
How do you spell it?
I'm not this old. And then I tried them on and was like, holy crap, this is amazing. I need a lot of
sock. Now this might be weird because it's like I do know a little bit about sock companies, but I might be confusing this with another one. Is this one where when you buy a pair, they also donate a pair or something? Yeah. Okay, it is the same one.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it called again?
It's called Bumbas. And
I have seen that.
I was annoyed. I was like, what is this? Man, it's got like this little elastic strip that hugs your foot. And like it makes you do like this. You're like, oh man, it feels good. Oh my god,
that's awesome.
We had a question in the chat. They want to know if the comic is on Comixology. By any chance?
What? We actually have the current iteration on Comixology, but we sell it on our website as well.
Okay,
and you can get that at SperoToys.com. We offer the digital version of Animal Warriors of Kingdom, and we also have an action comedy called Grits, and we have a sci-fi thriller called Dusk. And with this new Kickstarter, with the 6-inch Kickstarter, we're going to be rebooting the series. So we'll actually be offering issue 1 as one of the rewards. Like right off the bat, you'll be able to get issue 1. And we'll have like issue 2 and 3 and 4 and whatnot as stretch goals throughout the campaign. So hopefully we'll get enough to have another, another trade paperback.
Heck yeah.
That's a great idea.
All right. So on the screen here, I've brought up your first initial sneak peek of the, what is this? The,
Hail, right?
Hail. That is our main character.
Yeah. The 3D sculpt of it we've got here. And then let me move on to the actual figure here, and we can kind of talk over some of the different details you got going on here. All right, and it should pop up about now.
I see it.
All right. Are you able?
We should get an articulated version of that figure in about 2 weeks. We'll probably get it like right before the Kickstarter starts.
Okay.
So if I don't actually have time to like upload a video and photos of it, moving and in different poses, we'll just do it as an update so that you guys can kind of see what the articulation is.
That's perfect.
But I mean, if you're familiar with the G.I. Joe Classified series, the articulation's very, very similar to that. I honestly can't remember. The only thing that I think's notable differences between the two is I decided not to do calf cuts, mostly because the calf armor is going to be removable, and I didn't want it to be hard to like take that on and off. If the calf was slightly turned, it might make it a pain in the butt to like try to put that armor on and off.
Okay.
So that's a difference. And then I can't remember if the little T-bar in the pelvis, I can't,
hips.
I don't think it goes up and down. I think it's just a static bar that's just straight across.
Yeah.
For arms.
Okay.
I'm back and forth about that too, just for stability over time and durability reasons.
Yeah,
I love
didn't
some
know
aspects of
I
it.
didn't know why it was an option, but apparently, like, you know, like when they're like, if they're like kneeling, it comes in handy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, pretty much all of our figures have like that skirting, which has
Right.
slits in it, and they'll be able to do like a split, but it just wasn't like necessary for what we were trying to do with it. You know, it makes sense for like that military figure where there's like a lot of kneeling and stuff like that, but it didn't really. We didn't need that option, so.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So let's see, let's move on to the next one real quick here. Okay, so here's another image of the same. Okay, here we go. We've got the Atreyu, right?
So Atreyu is our first feline character. I can't confirm or deny that there might be more that we're going to reveal in the next week or so.
Nice.
But,
So
yeah.
this is the same character that I was showing on camera earlier, the little 3 3/4 inch
Right.
version
You'll
that I
notice
have.
the homage version, which you have, is very different from what we have now.
Right.
And that's because we're rebooting the series, and that figure started off as a fun homage, but
Right.
now he's very much his own character in a comic book, and bears very little resemblance and relationship to the source material that we all know and love.
Yes.
I like the armor and color scheme that you got going for this right here.
You know, when I was coloring that figure, it was very hard to kind of get out of that particular color palette that the homage was. It's almost like trying to learn a different dance to Footloose, where you're like, oh, okay, but I feel like I think I went through like 3 iterations of like color schemes, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. It's got I wanted it to have kind of a more like, you know, toned down, almost kind of brutal look to it, where you weren't really sure if it's gonna be a kind of a good character, or a mercenary, or I don't think it really comes across as evil at all, but like it looks a little bit more gruff and serious, you know.
It looks menacing to me.
It definitely
like
exudes power. Like it brings off that aura that a lion would give off. If that makes
right, yeah. I wanted to make it kind of intimidating. Yeah.
Mm.
Like I know it would get in the way of articulation, but even like a thicker, longer kind of mane would probably look really cool too.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because when we go into like the making of book that I had mentioned, we have turnarounds of stuff, and like there was like an iteration where there was like a longer mane and stuff, but like you said, it gets in the way of the articulation. Like so in the articulation, there's a joint in the neck, and then there's a swivel in the top of the neck, so that it can kind of like bend up and look straight up, you know. And
Nice.
You know, just in the toy designing process, there's all that kind of stuff that we consider. What do we want to keep? What do we like absolutely need to have from the concept that translates over to the figures? And like that metal, that skirting, like all that armor skirting, you know, just looking at it, you're like, that seems like it's going to hinder articulation a lot, but we have like hidden seams inside of that skirt so that it can flex and move to where the legs aren't going to be hindered when you want to like have like real dynamic poses, you know.
Nice. And how much are these going to be going for on the Kickstarter, if you don't mind me asking?
So on the Kickstarter, whenever we launch, a single figure will be $33, and when you get 3 or more, the price drops down to $30. So the more you get, basically, the lower the price point we'll get on those figures.
Nice.
Totally cool. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you get the all the accessories included. Are there any extra hands or?
So in order to keep that price point low, I chose to offer the figure with 1 head and a couple of accessories, and then we're going to be offering headsets and accessory sets, and 2 of those are going to be available as add-ons right out of the gate.
Okay.
So the ones that we're adding on is for the heads, we've got an adventure set, which will give you an alternate head for the. Well, I'll just go ahead and say it. We have a Chonari, which is Pale's army. We have an army builder for that, and then we have an army builder for the villains. So you'll get 2 army builder heads. That way you can kind of have 2 different versions, and each of those comes with helmets too. So you can like just right out of the gate, you can like really kind of give your army builders a little bit of a unique look. And then we'll have a third head that's going to be another feline head that will go perfectly with Atreyu.
You heard it here first. That's a Toy Migos exclusive. Just want to let everybody know that. These accessories, they're shown in the picture, the shield and the swords. Are those packed in, or are these just for the picture?
I'm sorry, say again?
The accessories that we see here, the shield and the swords, are those the accessories that come with it, or is this for the photo?
Yep. Everything that you see in there that like looks like a toy is included in the with the toy.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, those. I mean, I hate to like geek out about my own stuff, but those shields are so freaking.
No, I was going to comment on that. Those look amazing.
That's why I asked. Was a very detailed look and everything. Yeah. You know, sometimes you see that when people are trying to show off their stuff. You know, you do have stuff in the background, and it was like, oh, well, that was only for the photo shoot.
Right. Yeah.
But that's why I had to ask. That's very nice. I mean, is that a jewel in the center of the sword?
Well, I mean, it's a paint deco, but yeah, it is.
Very nice. Very nice. I love it. It looks great.
And I mean, you obviously can't see the back of the shields, but they are modular, so they'll have holes on each side. So if you want to have a lefty or a right hand, you can do that. You can just move the handle over to whatever side you want them to be holding that hand on.
Awesome.
Or that shield on, I should say.
We had a question in the chat. They want to know if there's any females that would be in the line.
We do have awesome female characters featured in the comic book, but Wave 1 is just going to be male characters. It's going to be apes, felines. We have canine stretch goals, and we have a really big Build-A-Figure as our like big stretch goal. I said big a lot. So the answer is not yet, but it's on the radar.
Awesome. All right. So this next one is the army builder, right?
That's our first army builder. That's the Forward Ravager.
Alrighty. And you got all kinds of different stuff here to kind of swap it around and make it however you want. You can do guns or swords. You got a helmet here.
Yeah, that gun design is awesome.
Thanks. Man, I like that. I really like that gun.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
The wraps around it and everything. Now, is this all... Does any of this come extra from you guys? Or is this also stuff that you would see in the comic?
So everything in the 6-inch toy line is basically like right out of the new comic book that we're rebooting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably wind up giving away like a little sneak peek of issue 1 throughout the campaign. That way people can kind of get into it and see what they're going to be, what their story and everything is going to be without even the Kickstarter finishing. They'll get to read, see what everything's about. Awesome. And then once it's done, then we'll like release issue 1 and everything.
Sweet. Adam, do you have any questions?
I wanted to just talk to you about like your love for the 1/18th scale, and then your transition into the 1/12th, doing the 6-inch line now, like, and then doing both. The fact that I too am a fan of both scales. So I'd like to hear more of your thoughts there.
It's funny because like whenever I started posting sneak peeks of the 6-inch figures, people are like, "Are you going to stop doing 1/18th scale?" I'm like, "Hell no! Do you know how much all that investment costs?" So ideally, what I would like to have is whenever we release a version of Pale and 6-inch, that exact same iteration, like maybe his armor's a certain configuration and color, we release that exact same figure in 1/18th scale.
That's cool. Yeah.
That probably won't happen this year. This year, we're basically going to be releasing Wave 2 of the Deluxe and probably Wave 3 of Basic. And then we'll get the 6-inch, in the first quarter of 2022.
Nice.
So
Very
hopefully in 2022, we'll be able to kind of like segue into doing like whenever we release a character, it's a character in both scales. That way everyone can have the scale that they prefer. I just happen to collect both scales, so it works out for everyone,
Yeah. No, that's
I do what I want.
I think it's awesome that to let everybody know I'm not stopping the 3 3/4 stuff.
Exactly.
That's continuing on, because I'm sure that goes through a lot of people's heads of,
Right.
oh, well, now he's on the 6-inch game and
Right.
there goes my other collection. No, you're doing both. That's great.
Yeah, no, I could see a lot of people that
We're
got
doing
worried.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because, I talk to myself so much that I forget that I'm not making certain things public, and I mean, so much has been invested into all the tooling for the deluxe figures and the standard 1/18th figures that like stopping doing that never even crossed my mind. Like I've got like multiple waves of both of those planned. It's just that these things take so long that I have to start putting like irons in several fires and kind of like releasing little tidbits of what we're working on as we go, or not as we go, but like a little at a time, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know.
No, you do. A lot goes into it. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's I need some alcohol.
Yeah. Because it gets that way sometimes. If you're running both sizes and then trying to say what's going to come out and what your plans are,
Right.
Sometimes you don't want to jump ahead of yourself and everything.
Exactly.
I mean, right, Adam? You just don't put out a figure. Like everybody thinks, well, why not?
Yeah.
Why isn't he here yet or anything?
Right.
And now
Right.
with you being on the other end, like you said, all these sculptors who you have a part of it. I mean,
Right.
those pics look great. Those are going to be awesome. Somebody had a question on that gun one that I love so much. Is that going to be able to peg in the back? Like, are they going to be able to store these weapons, or are they just more to hold?
It doesn't have a peg hole right now, but that's a cool idea, and it's so early on that we could actually do something like that. I don't know why it didn't occur to me, because I've got a bunch of Halo figures that do that, and the Mandalorian does that. It doesn't do it well, but it does do it.
Mhm.
So it's actually a great idea. I'm going to see if we can't make it work.
Am I going to be able to get the 6-inch figures fully naked like I am with the 3 3/4-inch ones?
For certain figures, yes, and for certain ones, no. Like Pale, they all have underwear on. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to be able to like put pants on,
Fair enough.
Pale, you'll be able to get him almost completely nude, but certain figures have like sculpted armor torsos, like Atreyu's got a sculpted torso, and a couple of other ones do too. So it all depends on the character, honestly.
I like my little naked Atreyu.
He looks great, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know that, Adam's holding up one of the very first 3 3/4 ones, and you can remove all the stuff like he's been doing or add it on. I saw a comment earlier saying about that because they would like to actually see these figures in street clothes, and so you're able to do that.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
very
like
cool.
for him, you could totally do it. And some of the figures have like multiple layers of armor, so I'm trying not to like reveal too much before like we actually like show.
Keep some secrets.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will see. Like, there's a lot of like customizing potential, and there's a lot of different ways you can like display the characters, and it should be fun.
Well, that's awesome because I mean, when you get pieces that you can mix and match, you can kind of do your own thing too, and that just makes it fun. You're like, oh, okay, well, if I get this guy and this guy, I can make this guy. So let me go ahead and
Right.
get 2 of those so that I could have 3
Exactly.
different characters. And yeah, no, awesome, man.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like, I quote unquote army build. I usually get like maybe 5 or 6. I think the most I have of any like particular figure or like the like 2013 Cobra Troopers.
Mhm.
But I'd like to, even though like they all are Cobra Troopers, like I'd like to kind of customize them slightly and make them look like, even if one's got a shotgun or something, but like just give them all just a little extra touch. And so I kind of had that in the back of my head whenever I was picking out what extra heads I wanted to offer with the army builder sets and stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah, like the like real similar to the new classified trooper where it has the goggles or
Right,
the helmet.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can kind of, mix and match and do that however you want. Yeah.
That's an awesome figure. Holy crap.
It's really nice. I really like it. I wish more people could get their hands on it.
I got 4 of them, and I had a lot of help. I haven't found any of them in the store. I mean, I found the ones that everyone's like, oh yeah, 50,000 100 Scarlets. I can't believe I found that, but I mean, all the ones that people want, they're hard to find. Not that Scarlet's not an awesome character and figure, she is. It's just not, it just doesn't feel as special when they're like falling on the floor because there's so many of the first 5,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely need to ramp up production on a lot of that stuff. I've been seeing.
I totally get why they did it. I mean,
oh yeah,
it hadn't been out in it hadn't been out in 8 years, and retail got burnt because they were like, you know what? I think we're gonna push the movie back so that it's in 3D, and no one gave a crap about that.
Nope.
We just want the toys.
Yeah. And it shows because there's lines of full-grown men standing out in front of Target at 5:30 in the morning.
I'm just gonna throw out a free idea to toy companies. So when you license a product and the video game doesn't come out on time and the movie doesn't come out on time, there should be some sort of clause in your contract where they get like, financial penalties for that kind of stuff.
That's
okay, my rant's over.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
We talk about that with especially the Black Widow wave.
It's like so sad. It's like, release it on Disney Plus, people. Yeah. Do it. You did it with Mulan. You can do it with Black Widow.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to watch it right now.
Yeah, those figures they just kind of went out there,
and then premium too. Like I'd be like, yeah, I'm excited about this movie. I'll watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, and speaking of Black Widow, the 6-inch packaging is going to be very similar to Marvel Legends. So you'll have a nice big box window. It's going to be a box. It's not going to be a blister card. And like on the back, it'll feature all the figures and everything. And I designed it, but even though I designed it, I think it looks really cool, and I can't wait to kind of share it with you guys. I'm going to try to get I'm going to try to make a 3D turnaround of the package so that you guys can kind of like,
nice.
Look at it and see it from all the different angles.
Heck yeah.
Are you going to keep the 3 3/4 on the blister card?
No. So like everything on those packages are all going to be like the 6-inch characters from that particular wave. So whenever we go to wave 2, ideally that we'll have a builder figure for every wave.
Oh, nice.
So ideally wave 2 will have, the X amount of figures and then the builder figure, highlighted on the back of the package.
Very cool. So you're going real hardcore with it.
Going full stupid.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's awesome.
So what's the launch date is March. Yeah. What's the day in March? March was it 11th?
You know what? I haven't decided what day I want to launch it yet. It'll probably be, I can't decide if I want to do it on a Friday or a Monday. So some of it depends on when the deluxe figures arrive. I'd like to be starting to pack those deluxe figures before I like actually launch the Kickstarter. We'll see what happens. It's so hard to tell, like when they gave me like I want to say it was like a 10-day window of like when they'll get here. So I'd like to kind of be like halfway into like packing stuff and sending it out the door before I actually launch the
Oh yeah, Kickstarter campaigns take over your life for the duration of the campaign.
Yeah, I don't think people realize like how all encompassing it is. It's like that scene from Saving Private Ryan where he's like holding his knees and going, "Ah!"
Oh dude, it was like you don't sleep, you're waiting for stuff to get funded, answering questions everywhere, going on shows like this, like do it. Like
this is the fun part. It's funny you say that because like I get a lot of private messages and people are like, "Hey, I want to launch a Kickstarter." I'm like, "That's cool. When are you thinking of launching?" And they're like, "Next month." And I'm like, "Okay, so like take that month and add 5 more months to that, because like no matter how much you prepare, people are gonna ask questions that are great questions that you're like, I never even thought about that. Like the question with the will the rifle be stored on the back? That's an awesome idea, and I don't know why I didn't think of it. I was kind of thinking like we'd have like a strap or something that would, allow you to hold the weapon, but that's a cool idea.
That's a way cool idea.
Like people bring up all these good, legitimate questions that you just don't anticipate. And you're like, oh, that's a great question. I need to answer that,
Well, so, I could see it being too, because like you're just enthralled in it, and there's so many different gears turning, and you're kind of spread across so many different bases, so that like common things like that would, if you looked at a figure from a different line, that you would look at and go, oh, okay, this or that. It doesn't come up to you, you're like, oh, well, all right, we got him settled. We got that settled. Or did we get okay, that's good there. And, know.
Yep. You got it. Exactly.
So I brought up the image here of the different, the heads. So we have the Adventure head accessory set here, and we've got, what is it? We've got on the left that is...
I actually don't know because I can't see the photo.
Oh, okay. It's the paler looking
so there's a pale mandrill, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the middle is it looks to be like it'll go with the Atreyu, the lion looking character, and then the true builder, right?
Correct. So there's okay, let me think. So there's a gray chimp, which will be an additional head for your horde Ravager. The feline in the middle will be for Atreyu, and then there's a brown baboon that'll go for your Chinari Legionnaire, which you haven't seen yet. So
okay,
but you now know is coming.
Nice.
I like this.
Toy Migos exclusive.
I like this Atreyu head here. I think that'll look really cool on there because it's got that longer hair. I think that'll look really cool.
I'm excited about that. Now that's an awesome photo, but I'm like kicking myself because like whenever we were taking those photos, I was looking down at it and I was like, that looks awesome. But like in the photo, it's like he's, because of the way the head's shaped, it's kind of laying down and a little distorted. But I'll be taking a picture of, Atreyu with that head on, so you'll be able to see what it looks like,
Sweet.
I mean, I'm going to do that with all those pack-in heads, so you don't have to like imagine it,
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to have some sort of, presentation.
That's a really good point, because sometimes even regular companies who offer the extra head, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, but you never see it on, and you do wonder, like,
very true.
You know what I mean? Oh, well, I got it for this head, and it actually doesn't even look that great.
Right, and now I will say those pictures are not going to look as cool as these. Like, several of my friends are professional photographers, and they took all those photos. I mean, it'll probably be about on the same background and stuff because I made all those dios, but like all the lighting probably won't be as cool.
Well, yeah, but we'll get to see them on the body though, actually.
Exactly.
And like you said, instead of imagining what it is, we have a physical presence of, man, I need about 4 accessory headsets because I'm going to true build that look.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I like the way you think, and you deserve it. You're worth it.
You buy as much as you want.
I'm going to order it all. Yeah.
And you know, it's funny. Whenever, I mean, I'm 3D printing and painting and everything in the house, and I'm like, I wonder if that helmet will look good on that Mythic Legions character. So, like, I know the helmets look good on certain characters already, you know. So,
oh, that's way awesome.
I can't wait to see how people mix and match the accessories with other lines. I mean, one of the things that I wanted to focus on with this line was, because it's my first like foray into 6-inch figures, was, do these accessories look good on their own and with this toy line, but will they look good with other toy lines? And I haven't posted a lot of photos, but I've been kind of just like, you know, just playing with my personal collection. And I'm like, man, that fits like really good with that toy line. And
we've got some images.
Kind of see people play around with that.
Yeah, you sent us over some images here that I can go to.
Very cool.
What they do scale with. So,
and the chat amigos were already talking about that too, saying, well, I want to put this with this line. Or I want to get this with this line. Exactly. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they're very much their own thing. And whenever you see the comic book, you'll be like, yeah, this is its own thing. But I mean, the ultimate compliment to me will be when people, you know, put my figures next to Thundercats Ultimates, or, you know,
correct, right,
Ninja Turtle Ultimates, and it looks good together and it marries well and everything looks nice and neat on the, you know, everything looks complimentary on the shelf, on collectors' toy shelves. You know?
So let me sidebar,
or in the background in the stand pit, whatever, you know, playing, battling, or whatever.
Let me sidebar real quick here. You keep bringing up Thundercats Ultimates, and I want to ask you: are you getting the Thunder Tank?
I'm personally not getting it. I think it looks awesome. It's just one of those things where my collection's already so big that I'm rotating stuff out, and I just don't have enough toy shelf for it. I mean, I've wanted the big Millennium Falcon since it debuted in 2010, but I didn't have enough room for it now, and I definitely don't have enough room for it. I mean, I didn't have enough room for it when it came out, and I don't have enough room. It's just one of those things where I have to kind of like pick, like, do I want to have this big display, you know, grail piece, or and have to like put some of my figures in storage, or do I want to like get more actual figures? And in my personal preference, I would rather get, you know, a Mumra and a Sly and a Monkey in. From that toy line, you know.
All right.
I mean, I wanted the Razor Crest too. I thought that was an awesome. I mean, man, it is freaking cool looking. I just have to kind of pick and choose.
Oh, I bet for you, for like 3/4 inch, you're like, oh.
I know. And then when I saw the episode, and I was like, I don't feel as bad anymore.
Yeah, you're all, that validated it right there. That validated me. Okay, I made the right choice. What about the Sentinel?
What's that?
What about the Sentinel, the Marvel Legends Sentinel?
You know, I thought that thing looked insanely awesome. I mean, it's kind of in the same wheelhouse as Unicron, where I was like, that is a gorgeous, amazingly engineered toy. But I don't know, for some reason it doesn't like it doesn't make me excited. Like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where I'm like, that's awesome, but I feel like
it's the equivalent of having that is like having a toddler. So
yeah,
it is a weight to bear in addition to its coolness.
Yeah, I mean, it's did y'all watch that unboxing of the Unicron?
No, I haven't got a chance to see that yet.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's like toys get to a certain size and it's like it's kind of hard to even play with. Like that's like
True,
Yeah.
true.
I mean, they are Grail pieces. They're awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. That Thunder Tank looks freaking awesome. And did they do a good job? Absolutely. It's just one of those things where I'd be like, what the hell where do I put it?
Yeah.
You know?
Very
I mean,
true.
like out of everything, like where those big epic set pieces have come out, the only one that I feel like I would probably like really make an exception and like bite the bullet would probably Java's sail barge. Holy crap, I'm like starting to slur. I haven't had any alcohol or I'm not on. I did play a section of Assassin's Creed Valhalla where like I ate some mushrooms, but like it hasn't translated to real life. I don't know why I'm slurring.
Fully kicked in yet? All right.
maybe you're catching an alcohol high through me because I've got
That's what it
plenty.
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
having
so
a flash.
these scale like, man, really good. You guys hit that right in the middle.
Someone asked me a question, this is a very important question. They said, did you print those out at 100%? And I was like, no, actually, I scaled them down to show what they are going to look like for production. So in other words, when we send to the factory, we send those files at 104% to account for shrinkage. So what you see right there is going to be what the production size is. It's not.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what size they're going to be.
Very cool.
Heck yeah.
And what's this one, Janie? Is that a weapons accessory?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's talk about the iron weapons accessory set here. So you've got a shield,
Oh, those pistols are awesome.
Thank you.
Couple
Oh man, I like those
axes.
things. Holy cow.
a spear. So yeah, these are and you can these are pretty much add-ons as well, right? You can add on during the campaign.
That's going to be a set, and you'll be able to add it on right out the gate. So whenever we launch the Kickstarter day one, you'll be able to choose from, the 6 figures, and then you'll be able to also add on that headset and that weapon set right away.
Cool.
And then we're going to roll into stretch goals where I'm trying to kind of do like a figure, then a weapon set, then a headset, and then a comic. But we'll see how it all goes. Kickstarters are kind of unpredictable. People might be like, we really, really, really want a headset or whatever, and I might just accommodate that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot from the hip a little bit during the course. Sometimes it's got to happen. Sometimes.
Yeah. That's when it goes.
In some cases.
Yeah, that's when you go. They want another headset. Give them another headset.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah. They're the ones that are gonna make this happen. So if they want these things, how about we provide what they want? It's a crazy concept.
But sometimes it shoots you like right in the foot though, because like that happened during the Articulated Icons campaign where it was like we hit our stretch goals and then we were planning other ones like during it and like hit those too, and it became like all of a sudden the last one, the thing that I absolutely did not want to do, which was the translucent figure. So we did the smoky translucent figure. I was like, no, I don't want to deal with translucent like
plastic.
I was like, it's a nightmare. Like, I just don't want to have to deal with that at the factory. Like, this is the worst thing ever. And I was really hoping, I was like, boom, we'll put it there and this will be the price. And of course it hit. And I was just like, no. Oh, it was like nightmare inducing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Adam was like Vader. No.
It was
Adam, I gotta
seriously.
admit, dude, that is my favorite. A translucent ninja.
Right,
Cheney? I kept on it. Cheney.
Of course,
Dude,
it was a good idea. That's why I went. Like, I was like, yeah, cool, we're gonna do it. I did the Photoshop work of making that thing because we didn't have one. I literally just Photoshop. I did Photoshop filters on a basic black one until I did plastic wrap over it, like, changed all the levels, and like I made a painted Black Ninja look clear, and it was
Yeah,
like, that's it. And then of course people want one.
We gotta have it.
That's
Now,
my favorite.
I will say that like right now, I'm like, we're in like 80% whips, work in progress on some figures, and then like other figures are like just a cool looking 2D. And you saying that, I'm like, in my like wishes of wishes, we'll get in that situation where I'm like, we don't have the 3D version, but we do have this cool looking colored drawing,
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Like that's awesome that you have that. And like plan that way, plan for success.
Yeah.
Like this is a cool line. I'm super excited to back it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm so relieved that like people were like receptive to it. And I felt like in my head, I said, you should have done the 6-inch line sooner, dummy. But like just seeing like people's reception to it, like, is a nice relief. I'm like, okay, cool. They were just waiting for the 6-inch scale.
These are great for the 6-inch scale. I love the different head sculpts and everything. I mean, that's really it's so funny how just a head sculpt can change the character itself. Right. And you have something new. Like we talked about with the Joes. Like you're just throwing goggles on and you have like a whole nother figure to put out there.
Exactly.
So that's so cool. The detail on the shield is amazing. That's great. So on these accessory sets, obviously that's for the troop build of that figure, but you're going to try and hit other troop builders as well.
Yeah. Maybe? So whenever the Kickstarter goes live, I'll show off the first stretch goal figure and the next weapon set.
Oh,
so you guys can do whatever you want with those weapons, but I kind of intended those weapons to complement the Chinari Legionnaires, which you'll see in 2 weeks.
Nice.
And then the next set will complement a different set of figures, and we'll kind of just go from there.
That's very cool.
For the weapons, and now you can tell me, like, shut up, and I'm not answering your question if you're keeping it secret for the Kickstarter. But for the weapon sets, are you doing... Are there going to be different weapons or just different paint jobs, or is it mixed up? Like what's
it's going to be a mix. So like each weapon set will have at least, I want to say, 1 or 2 elements or 1 or 2 weapons that aren't in any other weapon set. Some of them will be doubled up. Like I think there's a couple of like curved swords that are in more than 1 pack, and I know the flintlock is in more than 1 pack as well. Those just kind of come off the top of my head, but some of the, like, I want to call them like showstopper weapons, or like just that it's just in that weapon pack, and it's also some of them are not included with the figures at all. So it'll be kind of like
a way to get it. Yeah,
little extra push. Like, okay, I already want that weapon pack, but it comes with the freaking thing with the dingle hopper. I gotta have that,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
That's the fork. The dingle hopper's the fork.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Good job, Adam.
Man, that one's got the pizza cutter. I gotta have the pizza cutter.
Yeah. So, Jason, you doing this line and everything, and being a collector yourself, we could see it from all the pictures of everything you have. Is there something main that you collect right now? 3 3/4 or 6-inch?
So whenever the Halo line came out,
that was both.
The 6-inch figures. I got the 6-inch figures. I mean, I got 2 of those, but I just kind of went like full crazy with the 3 3/4 line, which I think is so well done. Like, I knew that Jazzwares was doing good stuff with the Fortnite figures, but I feel like they like really, really upped their game with this line. I'm kind of casually collecting the Halo 6-inch figures, but I'm really excited about the 3 3/4 line.
I've heard nothing but good things about that Halo 3 3/4 line.
Yeah,
so good. It's really good.
I mean, they came out the gate with vehicles.
Yeah,
and everything. That's very cool.
So I'm excited about that. I'm kind of always collecting since the lockdown. I've kind of always been collecting Star Wars Black series, and I'm from Marvel Legends. I kind of just picked the stuff that I love. Like I'll kind of like mull over. I live in a rural area, so like if I see something, I'm like, I like that Spider-Gwen, but do I love it? I don't have to get it right away. I can like come back the next day or so, and it'll still be there.
How nice.
Man. You live in a dream world where Scarlet, G.I. Joe classified Scarlets are falling off the shelves.
Right.
Yeah.
We have no buckshot, but we definitely have Spider-Gwen is in stock. So that's what I mainly collect. Anytime I can get through like the work week without having a meltdown, I might like treat myself to like a Ninja Turtles Ultimate or like a Thundercats Ultimate, but I don't get that stuff quite as often because I lose my mind at work.
We got a very generous super chat from Andre. He said, "Let's skip the important questions. Cheney, bring that cover art back up. When is that absolute unit of a gorilla coming?"
Oh,
wants a 6-inch scale gorilla.
Okay. So that's our big stretch goal. That's going to be a Build-A-Figure.
Oh.
So throughout the campaign, we're going to be offering stretch goals, but we're also going to be upgrading current figures with, like extra hands, extra weapons, and ideally we'll be offering a big giant ass Build-A-Figure monster gorilla, and that will be at no extra cost. It's not going to do, you just get, if you have all 6 of those characters and we make stretch goal, you'll have your big giant Build-A-Figure packed in with that.
Oh, I
That's
like
cool.
it. Yes.
So would it be would it look similar to this one that you have in the concept art on your Instagram here with the General,
the gorilla with the big hammer?
General,
the 2D art?
Yeah, General Thane.
General Thane, yeah. It's going to look pretty much exactly like that.
Oh, man.
Dang.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
I have
in that image, if you scroll over, you should actually see like a scale with the 2D Pale in that. He's about 1 inch taller. So he's not like way taller, but he's so wide that it makes it like a big, beefy, intimidating character.
Now, I don't know if you've been following the McFarlane stuff, but McFarlane likes to measure the width of a figure with the Robin figure. So,
how many pails wide is Thane?
3.
Yeah,
It'll be about
impressive.
You know what? Let's say 2.5.
Okay.
Dick.
We got.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We got another generous super chat from Andre. He says, "I have a feeling I'm going to be hitting these like I hit Plunderlings." We have a joke around here. We call Andre the Plunder King because he
single-handedly backed that Kickstarter.
Right, he went
just
full
him.
in.
Yeah,
Andre, you deserve it. And you know what?
He does deserve it. He does.
I did a lot of paint masters for those Plunderlings.
Oh, very nice.
Look at that. Yeah, those Plunderlings are amazing.
We got another question from Jurassic Jesse. Will you release the entire line plus accessory packs as a one purchase?
Like an all-in kind of?
Like an all-in?
Yeah, well, the answer is absolutely yes. But we're offering several different options in that wheelhouse. So,
okay.
So there's one option that just lets you just get all of Wave 1. It's not an all-in. It's just, I want the whole set of Wave 1. And then we have an actual all-in, which is, one of everything that, is offered, like every stretch goal, all of that, you get all of that. And then we have a double down of that, and then we have like a triple down. And for the double down, there'll be extra perks that aren't included with the all-in, and then the same thing with the triple down. There'll be like we'll have like a Zoom meeting with the creators and you know, a couple of other activities. We'll have cool. It's basically going to be a pizza party.
Nice.
We'll have a virtual pizza party.
Right. Yeah. So right now you're talking about 6-inch figures with weapons, guys. This is what he's saying. And then you got accessory packs, you got head packs. You're going to get that Build-A-Figure if you get all the first wave, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right in there.
Correct.
You're going to re-release.
You're going to get
you're going to re-release the comic book.
You're going to get the making of the art book.
And the making
and the
of
comic book.
Right.
Correct. And there's going to be posters as well.
I like Ernie. As Ernie's asking all of you this, he's got his little calculator in his hand and he's trying to figure out. Am I going to be able to do it? Like, okay, I need some Cheney. He needs some overtime.
Definitely. You do need to treat yourself. It's very cool because I don't know, when you have to explain it to your other significant other, you know what I mean? And you say it as a whole, not just, well, I'm jumping in this line because they look cool.
Did you just say other significant other?
I was just going to comment
on that.
Your others or your significant others.
And I love my girlfriend.
Ernie's a polygamist, so we're just throwing that out there, guys.
Whoever you got to answer to, basically, it's so much better to, I'm getting a book, I'm getting a comic, I'm getting 6 figures, I'm getting a Build-A-Figure. You know what I mean? When you put everything in that way, it's very cool because that's like out of the gate type thing too. That isn't that I put extra. That's because I want that first wave. Exactly. And that's a great selling point.
And the way the first tier 1 all in is structured, you can have what you want, and then you can have a couple of figures left over, and whenever the people that sat on the fence and waited till they got on eBay, you can make a little bit of extra profit, and that's
Look
a
at
good
this
way
guy.
to show that.
Toy Migos rainy day.
Tell your wife, be like, listen, this is an investment, baby.
You're right. It's an investment as well because I got my figures and then
you get the ones I want, and then we're gonna sell like 10 of them, and make $2,000.
The Plasticadito said, and your wife's like, "What's a Build-A-Figure?" We got another.
It's like an outfit. It's like the purse, the heels, the blouse, and the dress.
You go. There you go.
Yes. We got another generous super chat from Andre. He says, "Are these figures coming with grip hands, fist hands, and relaxed hands? And for the love of God, do the weapon hands hinge vertically?"
I'm answering the weapon hands thing based on the Atreyu that I have. So now I no longer need to type it. I was typing it. Oh. But Atreyu has a right hand vertical hinged hand and a left back and forth, like an in and out hinge. So
with his right hand, he'll be able to point towards the sky, and then the other one will be horizontal. Now, right.
Is it like that on the 6-inch figures too?
Correct. Yeah. Now, day one, in order to keep the price point competitive, right now it's just going to be the C grip hands. But like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have like little upgrades as we go, and you'll get some closed fist and some like, what is this? What do you call that? Like the claw.
I actually I have a name for that because we have to do them all the time at work. We call it force lightning hands.
There you go.
So it's like force lightning. Like it's like a cool outstretched.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So that's what we refer to it just in the studio at work. And then I want to mention, based on what Jason's talking about right now, what a genius he is when it comes to painting. Jason, one of my closest friends, Beardy, like you guys would get along so well because like the paint skills and the way you've been doing it. So he's talking about like hand packs and everything. And like Jason is painting different characters that are obviously different characters, but keeping things like hands and like colors, like these fur colors or like, whatever would be flesh color, the same. So that way you can swap these parts back and forth between certain characters and it makes sense. And it's like this, this is all like really meticulous planning that like I don't know that everyone I think people take it for granted, and I just want to say, Jason, it's badass. Like it's really cool.
Adam's all,
I'm glad you noticed.
Adam's all, I noticed you.
Yeah. It's like I see you.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's funny. I find painting really relaxing, and I've got a bunch of questions about how you paint eyes and stuff. And I've got like a formulaic thing that I just follow. And if I mess it up, I'm like, oh, whatever. I guess I'll just like watch a little bit of Family Feud while I like fix this eye, I like if I mess stuff up, I'm like, it's not a big deal. I think the only time I genuinely freaked out was I was painting a statue right like 2 days before a convention, and I was finishing up the very last little bit of stuff, and I forgot to put the little lid on the airbrush, and I like tilted red, like bright red, like, and it just like oozed down all over like the statue.
Oh.
And that was like the only time that I like really was like stressed out, and it was really just because it was like a time constraint thing. But I mean, otherwise, I find it super relaxing.
So Jason, you said, sometimes you don't think about some of the stuff. So some of the chat migos have put in there, once again, Andre, who wants to fully fund this already, said that his gorilla better have huge smashing fist hands. So if you guys haven't thought about that yet.
For Andre, I think we're going to go ahead and do that.
There it is.
There it is.
There you go, Andre.
Get another Toy Migos exclusive for you, Ernie.
Right. Toy Migos exclusive.
Exclusive.
Right there. So
you heard it here first.
We said about, the gun having a peg hole in the back. That's cool. Oxmeat Pete says maybe down the line as well, too. Second head sculpts for the bath that come out later. Like a damaged closed eye, and that. So then, like,
right.
You got the bath, but later getting something else, it came with another head.
Right. So let me say this. I really think that Hasbro handles Marvel Legends very well. Some of the Build-A-Figures, I mean, let's face it, like the figure itself is the accessory, but they let you kind of have your cake and eat it too, because like I've held out for certain figures that I really wanted, and they released those as a single figure later down the line with like a slightly different paint deco. And that's honestly what I have in mind,
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to do it as a bath, as a Build-A-Figure.
I mean, like, if you tool up a giant gorilla, you need to utilize that tooling in the future. Like,
right. That's very awesome.
Yeah. Use it more than once. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get Andre that You Deserve It shirt right away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jason, you said you're doing the 3D printing yourself too. I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Like, I nerd out about that stuff. I mean, it's one of the things I do.
Absolutely.
Like what software are you using? What kind of printer you have? Like, what are you doing?
So I have two printers. They're both, is it Elglue or something? They're both
I don't know. I'm probably mispronouncing it too.
So they're the Mars 2 Plus or something like that.
Yeah.
They're great little printers, and it's funny because at the office we have like a Form 3, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is just as good.
And the price difference is pretty big too.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's the same frame with like a different housing on it. It's like.
Yeah,
it's both a truck chassis, but one's got a SUV on it. The other one's got a pickup truck or whatever. But yeah, man, I don't know what you have, but I got to tell you, it's so fun whenever I'll do like a long, like 8-hour print, and I'm like, I'm gonna put that printing right before I go to bed. And then I'll wake up in the morning and I can hear that humming, and I'm like, oh, let's go see if it came out good,
Yeah, no, it's like having magical present. Like that's what we do all the time too. It's like you send something end of the day, and then in the morning it's done, and it's like a little present for you.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like it's funny because like one of our sculptors that does a ton of Marvel Legends was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna take a little bit off of like my bill for this project, not this project, but like a while back, just so you will freaking get a 3D printer. And I was like, man, I don't want the 3D printer. He's like, just get it. And so I got it. And I was like, man, I can't believe I waited this long to get this thing. I mean, just being able to like print stuff out at home and paint it is, man, it's like we're living in the future.
It is. It's very futuristic.
We got a very generous.
We
got a very generous super chat from Omar. He says, "Thank you, Toy Migos, for keeping us all excited for new lines. Even though my wallet hurts, it's worth it."
Dollar bills.
You're right. You're worth it.
You're worth it.
You're worth it. You are.
What are we doing this for if we can't enjoy ourselves, you know?
Yep.
All right. One more idea from the Plunder King. And
Yes.
he says, Andre, oh my God, how much money do I gotta pay to have a weapon named the Slithering Darkness?
I feel like that needs its own weapon design.
Right? I'm already wrapping my head around it. Like, okay, yeah. I could definitely
I feel
see
like
that.
we should have a stretch goal that lets people
name
like
stuff.
design weapons, like name weapons and stuff.
Dude, wouldn't that be?
Another award thing where
Because-
people can name the weapons.
Yeah, because not only are you in a Kickstarter, but you went in so hard that this weapon that I'm holding right here, I named this one.
Yeah.
Like,
That's it.
wow.
That's
And
cool. You
get
can charge
one-to-one
people a lot for
scale
that.
weapon of that weapon.
Andre is on fire tonight. I like
He
it.
really is. Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's a great idea.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a great idea.
Again, look at these cool figures, and even more cool, look at this weapon that I got to get named after me.
Yeah. Look at my weapon named the Slithering
No one
Darkness.
can ever take that away from you.
No.
Right? That's so
Right.
true.
It reminds me a lot of the old mail away
No matter
G.I.
what
Joe.
else happens in your life,
For
exactly.
the Slithering Darkness, if it is a
20 years from now,
if it ends up being
20
a
years from now,
sword.
when you go into, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go
it's
ahead,
cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you go. You're the
I'm going-
guest.
here we go. 20 years from now, when you're growing potatoes on Mars, you're going to be like, and damn it if I didn't name that Slither Blight.
It's
That's
true.
it.
Series 1, Wave 1.
I love it.
The Slithering Darkness. Like if it's a
Yeah.
sword, I want the blade to go up, and like this would be a unique sword blade that I've never seen before that has just a 2-pronged tip, like a
That
snake's
actually sounds
tongue.
cool.
So it's like
Yeah,
the
right.
tip of a snake's tongue as the end of the sword, and the whole blade goes down like that. Like it's like a nice thick sword.
Yes, I like it.
The shaft
would
is
be.
very thick on
Yeah.
this sword.
Yes, that'd be
Nice
perfect.
thick shaft, and then a forked
You would
tongue.
definitely have something to talk about as part of the line.
I like Cheney's getting flustered about this one.
No, I'm good. You guys, yeah.
Oh, okay. So speaking of that, we're talking about like a snake fork design thickness of it, and you do have the comic base, but later have more animal characters come into mind.
Yeah, so like
So like that, like a snake head, or
In the-
somebody said earlier like hippos, and I was reading, I was like, dang, that is pretty cool. Like you got a big buff gorilla, dude, like a battled out hippo. Oh man.
Oh, the
so,
butt. Oh, go ahead.
so whenever you see the cover of issue 1, I think most people will be able to figure out what the next Build-A-Figure will be. How's that for a
Oh.
teaser?
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I will say that he's really cool looking. And that's it.
Okay. All right. I believe you. I don't know
I'm
why,
loving
but
it.
I believe you.
So
bu-
so yeah, in the comic book, basically the main character travels to a bunch of different we call them houses, but they're like, the house of Chinar and the house Horrid, house
Correct.
Pharoah. And they basically go to different kingdoms, which are different animal species, and they're trying to convince them to, finally stand up and fight against the tyrannical main villain. So you'll definitely see a bunch of different species throughout the books, and all of that will kind of hopefully segue into toy versions.
Nice. We've got a very generous super chat from Jesse Lewis. He says, can this morph to insects, dinosaurs, birds?
Of course he asks dinosaurs.
Uh-huh.
Jurassic Jesse wants to know if...
And he asks about vehicles.
I was going to ask about vehicles later, too. I mean, if we jumped into the whole Halo thing, they came out the gate. Has that crossed your mind? Like that? Like we just said, so insects, birds, dinos, or vehicles?
Okay, so birds for sure.
Oh.
Reptiles for sure.
Oh. Yeah.
Whenever you see the comic book, so one of the problems that we had to kind of wrap our head around was, is it going to be odd for a monkey to ride a horse that's also just as sentient as he is? And so whenever you see the books, we think that we found a good, I don't want to say it's a compromise, but a much better solution to that. And they aren't dinosaurs, but they aren't like traditional animals. So
I love
it'll
it.
be kind of fun to see
You could
that.
start running into the goofy Pluto situation.
Right. And we wanted to avoid that. We wanted to, and totally did, but it's hard not getting too excited talking about that, because like in the comic book, we have like, all the animals that we're used to are all like sentient, humanoid looking things, and they have a lot of different beasts of burden that are like just animals that we created and that are, very alien looking. And that's basically what all the good guys use, and all the bad guys use are, robotic stuff. So like in issue 1, Kali is like riding up in this big giant kind of spider platform, and I think that would be an amazing toy to make. And anyone that kind of messages me or asks me about it, I kind of say we'll do vehicles whenever the cartoon gets optioned,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I love it. It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we launch a Kickstarter, you're gonna see, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just offer like an 8-page preview of the comic book, but the Kickstarter video is going to show a little bit of a cartoon pitch.
Nice.
It's kind of like a mock cartoon intro / cartoon toy commercial. So it's so hard not to like just spill the beans on everything, but
Yeah.
I think whenever
correct. We fully get it.
Live, people are gonna be like, "Whoa, this is like a triple threat type of thing," So
No,
we got some
that's awesome, because the designs and from what you said so far, story wise and whatnot, it seems like it could lend itself very easily to a cartoon.
Yeah, I really tried. We tried to frame the comic to feel like an adaptation of a cartoon, so that whenever we pitch it, we can kind of show the 90-second animation that we put together, and if people are interested, we can say, oh, and here, by the way, here's like basically the synopsis of the season 1 in comic book form. So kind of like circling back to the dinosaurs, we're not going to have like any kind of like a straight actual like T-Rex Ninja Turtle style type thing, but we are going to have other stuff that's intriguing and kind of mixtures of different animals, but not straight up dinosaurs.
If you go on Unparalleled Universes show, he's going to try to talk you into dinosaur hands.
Okay.
Got a weird thing.
We had talked. I think I am going to, I think we have something scheduled.
Oh, be ready for it. Dinosaur hands are coming then.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We're losing the monkey fist for dinosaur hands. Not the gorilla fist, but the monkey fist have been their dinosaur hands.
Now dinosaur hands.
That's not happening. I'm joking.
All right. Awesome. Well, I know that we've been going on about this for a while, but this is so exciting and interesting, and I'm definitely in. I want to get the gorilla myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, for reals. Yeah, it has. I think it's great that you already showed the pictures of with so many different lines, and it has a basis to take on so much being an animal character of putting together with all these other lines. I mean, I'm even thinking because I'm such an even Star Wars fan, you throw a Jedi robe on some of those, and you have your your alien Master Jedi, whatever it may be, right, or a dark Sith Lord, whatever it could be, just by throwing a cloak on it. One, True. Because it scales. And that those heads look amazing. I mean,
yeah, the sculpts are good.
I want to do that.
Yeah, I'm serious. Go ahead, show it off. I want to see how that looks because, you know, when you're in the Star Wars universe, you have that or whatever. I mean, we've seen Thundercats and that's getting in popularity. You showed the Mythic Legions. That looks awesome. Right. I mean, and then backing your own comic against it. Like, yeah, Chat Migos are excited. I know Andre's going to go in on this. And I can see a lot of people, you know, keep sharing those reveals every week, and the other stuff that you got planned is amazing, man. And Jason, just hats off to you, man, for from the 3/4 to this and it going so well. This is a good line, definitely.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just a toy collector, and I want to make stuff that I think you guys are gonna love, and kind of the root. Kind of my mission statement of doing this toy line was to make them feel like something that you missed out on when you were a kid and you were like, oh man, how did I miss this? Like, I don't know about you guys, but like I kind of like started to outgrow or like move away from whenever Silverhawks was coming out and Street Sharks and stuff like that. Like, and then like I kind of rediscovered them and I was like, whoa, look at this cool, awesome retro line that like I totally didn't know about, you know? And so I'm trying to make something that feels familiar, like, but it's new and exciting and something that you can like introduce like to, you know, new people and be like, share with your kids and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, it's for new people. You have the comic on it, but like you said, nostalgia for people our age. I remember the first time we interviewed you and the stuff that you showed off and everything, I had said, this is what I saw in my head as I played with my Beast Warriors. The small ones where you rub the chest and everything.
Battle Beasts.
Thank you. That's you know, in my imagination, this is how I saw them. And when I look at the figures that you show, it's like, yeah, I created that in my head. Like that's what you thought of with those little ones. So it's very, very cool. I love it a lot.
Thank you,
Jason.
Really
you alley-ooped a perfect segue for us to just mention our next week's guest also, because you were talking about vintage toys and vintage toy lines that you're discovering. And our guest next week is actually Blake Wright, who has a Kickstarter that just launched this week for the book Toys That Time Forgot. So this is volume 3 of Toys That Time Forgot. Cool. Volume 1 was a Kickstarter campaign back in the day. Volume 2, you could still get it in this one, but he just launched this week and he's gonna be on the show next week. The book is awesome too, because it's all prototypes and stories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but cool. It's really cool stuff. It's I'm sure you totally dig it as well.
You said it goes live this week or next week?
It's live right now. I just backed it, I think yesterday or the day before, but it's a really cool book series. And I know at least one of the stretch goals is to you can get volume 2 and volume 3 bundled together. Yeah. Volume 1 is long sold out, but he does tease that they're going to potentially do a reprint of volume 1. So
that's cool, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, toy community team. Hashtag toy community. There you go, Smash Lab. You owe me money.
Nice. The chat Migos are asking when part 3 of Jerry's coming.
Yeah, we need Jerry back on too. Jerry Macaluso from Soda Toys came on, did a 2-part series about his career. Yeah, he's got to come back on for part 3 for sure. We have some other guests lined up as well too, right? here and there.
Yeah, we've got some stuff lined up.
And then Jason, I think we need you back on either for the full show or a quickie mini, at least once your campaign is live.
Yes.
Just to come on and talk about it during the campaign.
I want to come back in when we're like in the middle of the campaign and I'm like calling the doctor and saying like, listen, you have to refill my prescription of Lexapro.
And this is why.
Yes.
And then we could show off so much more.
Yes. We got a very generous super chat from Inhaled Farts. Says Jason is making the figures I've always wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm telling you, you see them and I swear it's like I built that before in my imagination.
Yeah,
Inhaled Farts isn't joking either. Inhaled Farts literally, like, if you go to his page, he's always doing like ape or monkey customs. Like,
he's done me some really cool stuff
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, and I think he's making really awesome stuff. So y'all should keep an eye on him, man. He's making some really cool stuff.
Very cool.
And I had a joke and I forgot it. I hate that when that happens.
Was it something about the username Inhaled Farts? Or perhaps the username Playing With Myself? Because, you know, there's all sorts of jokes around here.
I feel like those are too easy.
Yeah, we did kind of ask for it.
It was something stupid. It was like a dad joke. It wasn't.
Hey, dad jokes are the best at our age. You know what I mean?
We do them the best here.
Yeah.
We're the only ones who laugh, but
we're all dads around these parts.
Yep.
I think it's funnier when my little girl doesn't think the joke's funny. Like that.
Yes.
Like if she thinks it's funny, I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
But if you're the only one crying and trying to catch your breath, that's even better.
Oh yeah.
My son got him like kind of embarrassed by me the other night. Like we were like going to bed and we started having a conversation where he was naming different Minecraft characters, like because he's obsessed with Minecraft, and he was just like naming superheroes, supervillains, or Star Wars characters, and he was like, do you think this character could beat this character from Minecraft? And I kept laying it, like every character that he would name that's not from Minecraft, I would explain extensively how they would beat Minecraft. And he was just like, all right, I'm tapping out of this one. Time for bed, Dad. You're ruining this for me.
I'm going to go to bed early.
Yeah. I'm not having fun anymore.
Or not only that, I think I got to clean my room, Dad. I don't want to get in trouble. Thanks. Yeah, it's always best when they throw that out there. Yeah.
All right. Well, where can everybody keep up with you at, Jason?
So I feel like I'm most active on my Instagram account, which is at Spero Toys. On Facebook, I don't know what the hell it's called. I think it's like Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But if you send a message on Instagram, I get it on Facebook. And I'm super responsive to those. Even if you're fussing at me, I'm like, okay, they're coming. They're on their way. So yeah, and if you want to check out the toys that we have in stock right now are actually on sale for 20% off. There's no discount code or anything like that. They'll just automatically get discounted for some weird reason whenever you go to check out. You can check them all out at sperotoys.com. Everything that's in stock's on sale right now. So if you want to kind of sample the line, and then you'll get a flyer promoting the Kickstarter in the bag. There it is.
There you go.
Dressed them that quick?
Holy he's fast with the clothes. I'll tell you that.
And then here, you and I were talking about this earlier before we got on, but the 3 3/4 inch line is very Ernie friendly.
Yes.
So if you're a mint on card collector, it's like a blister card that you can actually slide the backer out and then put it back in, and you can put your card back like in. No one would know the wiser. I mean, like Ernie might be able to like forensically discover.
He'll never know. He'll never know.
It's like
yes, I could tell the wear on top of the card from where you're always going up and down.
No.
I don't get to pack orders myself as much as I used to. But like even now, like whenever I do pack the orders myself, like it still has not stop being freaking cool. Like I'll pack them, like I'll look at each figure from the room. I'm like, man, that's so badass. Like that is so freaking cool. And I'll like kind of pack it up and like lovingly like go drop it off. And like I know the mail person's like, ugh.
Just tossing it around.
But the coolness has not worn off. Like, and like we're doing this sale because I'm like trying to make room in the warehouse. Like I'm having like little tinges of like anxiety kind of prickling, like of like picturing like this giant order coming in, and I'm like, we have to make room. And like I went into the warehouse this weekend and like was looking at like everything organized, and like I just took like boxes and like just empty boxes and like threw them all out, and it's just kind of crazy that we sold that many toys. It's a surreal type of feeling.
Yeah, like that's really awesome. It's like you're something that you created. You're able to go, okay,
yeah.
Like people are buying these and they like them. That's an amazing feeling to have.
Y'all got to see how fat my cat is. Y'all ready?
Okay.
Hold on.
That's a big cat.
Oh, he is a chubbers. I have two cats here. That one is like, we call him the house panther. He's a black cat, and like homeboy he's thick. And then Lupin is the other little rescue, and he's like the tiniest. Like he still looks like a kitten.
Yeah.
And I'm already sneezing over here.
I have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and it's like I feel like I'm like, why don't we have like an air filter in every room? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. The dander levels must be. Whew. I feel it's bad enough in my house. We just have one dog. We just have the and he's a corgi, so he's not even that big.
Yeah,
Cheney would know when we used to record in his room, right? Cheney, you're like, all right, your eyes are watering.
Yeah,
You're starting. It's gonna be time for Ernie to go before he dies. Yeah.
Ernie would be wheezing as he was leaving. All right, man, that was a good show.
Good show. Give me air.
And the funny part is my dog loves him. He rolls up to him. He's just like, Ernie, what's up, man?
Yeah, he won't. And then we would record, and he just lay right on me. I'm like, I mean, I'd have to shake myself off when I leave. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have anything else you want to add before we head out?
No, man, that's awesome. Jason, be sure and come back in the middle of the campaign so we got some more to show off in that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to. And like you said, like in the middle of the campaign, we'll have like several stretch goals to hopefully talk about and be like,
cool.
we're getting close to another stretch goal.
Yeah.
Nice. And I'll continue to keep revealing stuff on my Instagram and Facebook throughout the lead up and into the Kickstarter itself. So
nice. All right. And then, so we can reach you at Spero Toys or Animals of the Kingdom on Facebook.
Animal Warriors
of the Kingdom, sorry. And then on top of that, before we head out here, what was the pricing again on the figures for the new Kickstarter for the 6-inch line?
So if you want to get one figure, it's going to be $33. If you get 3 or more, the price drops to $30.
Okay.
30 each.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're talking a poster, the redo of the comic book, and then the behind the scenes book as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get all the figures in that first one, you're getting a build a figure.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's our big stretch goal, is that build a figure.
That's what we all have to make happen. So Toy Migo fam, like everyone wants a big gorilla. So we're going to all,
especially on,
and then when you're thinking at $30 a one, because you got to get that whole first set. So that automatically puts it at 30,
right?
A good selling point, to put out there, like for reals. I know the chat Migos are all into it, and this is going to be awesome.
Heck yeah.
Listen, if we get that stretch goal unlocked, I'll come on the show and eat a mayonnaise sandwich.
You have to actually eat a mayonnaise tortilla on this show.
There you go.
That's fine.
That's my specialty.
All right, we'll hold you to that. We
Yeah.
definitely will. I'm sure the chat Migos will be like, "Hey, man, they hit it at this time."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They'll You'll hear from the chat Migos and they'll let you know. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely turn into a Snack Migos episode.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
All right,
So-
guys. We had a great time.
Alrighty.
The chat's upset. What are you upset about? Calm down.
Doesn't like to be in front of the camera.
Yeah, he's all. No one paid me for this. I signed no forms. What are you doing?
Neither did I.
Yeah. All right. Where can we keep up with you, Adam?
I'm playing with myself.
Okay. Ernie, take us home, Captain.
Guys, chat Migos, thank you so much for all the great ideas, all the great questions. We love you guys' support for being here. Remember to go check this out and tell your friends who wasn't able to come check out this episode. What an amazing episode and information that we got about Spero Toys, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Don't forget to follow him every week on Instagram for all the new reveals and everything that he has on Spero Toys. It's 20% off on sales right now for the 3 3/4 figures.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening on your drive, be sure and check out the YouTube live version because Adam was showing off the 3 3/4 figure of, who was that, Adam? Atreyu. And then, you could see Adam easily taking off the clothes, the weapons, everything. And I mean, and now that we've translated this,
There's
into
lots
the
of
6
episodes where you could see Adam taking off the clothes.
and now it's transformed over into the 6-inch version. And then, like you said, this Kickstarter will be starting soon. We'll have Spero Toys back again with more info, and then eating a weenie and tortilla with mayo and ketchup with me live once we hit that stretch goal. Definitely, because we know that's your guys' favorite. So don't forget to follow Spero Toys and then Facebook, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. And once again, it's going to be get all figures. And if you get 3 or more, it'll be 30. You get a Build-A-Figure, a behind-the-scenes book, and the re-release of the comic, where these are coming from. And then much, much more, like the weapons accessory pack, the head accessories, and all that. And then we'll fill you guys in more. Don't forget to check out the very first time we had Jason on when we were launching the first 3 3/4 ones. And we were getting into it about all those ones. And now we're on the 6-inch. So very cool. Listen, go back and try and find that one and tell your friends to follow that. We will see you guys Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with your 1 hour away from the world with the Quickie Minis at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll give you all the toy news, everything that you need to know. And then don't forget Thursday nights at 8 p.m. with our 2-hour podcast show, like the one that you're listening to right now. Don't forget tomorrow is Fan First Friday with Power Rangers on Hasbro. Good luck hunting out there. Happy hunting and be safe. We will definitely see you guys on Monday with the Quickie Mini.
I've also posted reviews for the House of X Wolverine and House of X Magneto, along with the Sculptor Shelf Designer Con 2020 head sculpt.
And Firestar.
And Firestar is up there as well, yes.
Yes.
So check those out. With that being said, I'm Cheney 180.
I'm the Fallen Fett.
I'm playing with myself.
Jason.
And I'm me.
Yeah. And remember, guys, they're not dolls.
Plus Ultra!
It's chicken.